from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the National News broadcast. We are coming to you live from the news studios of Rupavahini. I'm Dilanjali Anand.
And I'm Siobhan Pereira. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight. Roshan Ranes Singha removed from ministerial posts. Attention has been focused to widen the ties of apparel and tourism sectors between Sri Lanka and Saudi Arabia. The Health Minister instructed the officials to appoint medical officers to closed and about to be closed. New bill on climatic changes will be drafted. Rainy condition will increase from today. Landslide warnings have been issued for 5 districts. Hamas say that truce will be extended to release more hostages.
Now for those and other stories in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has removed Minister Roshan Ranes Singha from the ministerial posts of Sports and Youth Affairs and Irrigation.
Now the President has taken this action as the Minister has failed to provide proper answers to 2 questions raised by the President. The relevant letter has been handed over to the Minister by the President during the Cabinet meeting held in the Parliament complex today. The Cabinet meeting was held in the Parliament complex this evening as a measure to prevent causing any disturbance to the budget debate. The President directed 2 questions to the Minister at this meeting. The first question was why the Minister talked to the Indian Cricket Board through the Indian High Commission office with Opposition Leader Sajith Premadasa and Chief Opposition Whip Lakshman Kiriyalla to find a solution to the cricket crisis. The second question was why the Minister included names of majority of his political supporters and relations in the Cabinet paper presented by him to distribute title deeds for lands in the Mahaveli areas. Minister Roshan Ranes Singha failed to answer these questions at this Cabinet meeting. After this incident, the President has removed the Minister from the ministerial posts, citing that he has breached the collective responsibility of the Cabinet. The President's media division stated that the President Ranil Wickremesinghe will be recorded in history as the first leader who sacked a minister after a Cabinet meeting. Parliamentarian Roshan Ranes Singha arrived in the Ministry of Sports today and left the premises a short while later. 2 new ministers have been appointed to the ministerial posts, those were vacant following the removal of Minister Roshan Ranes Singha.
They were sworn in before President Ranil Wickremesinghe this evening. Pavitra Wanyarachi is appointed as the Minister of Irrigation. In addition, she holds the Ministries of Wildlife and Forest Conservation. Harin Fernando is appointed as the Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs. In addition, he will also act as the Minister of Lands and Tourism.
The petition filed by Chairman of Sri Lanka Cricket Shammi Silva against the Minister of Sports for his decision to appoint an interim committee for cricket administration was postponed until tomorrow for further consideration. The appeals court took this decision when the relevant petition was reconsidered today. The petition was resummoned today before the panel of judges Sobita Rajakaruna and D.N. Samarakon. President's Counsel Salia Piris appeared for the Chairman of Sri Lanka Cricket Interim Committee Arjuna Ranatunga and other members. President's Counsel Romesh De Silva appeared for the petitioner Sri Lanka Cricket and Shammi Silva. After considering the facts submitted by both parties, the panel of judges postponed the reconsideration of the petition until tomorrow. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Cricket Selection Committee Pramodaya Wickremesinghe today appeared before the Special Investigation Unit for preventing sport-related offences at the Sugatadasa Indoor Sports Complex for the second day. He was issued a letter upon arrival to Sri Lanka after the defeat of the World Cup cricket tournament. The investigation unit had called him to be questioned regarding the matters he mentioned in the letter.
Now, Health Minister Dr. Ramesh Patrana instructed the relevant officials to appoint doctors to all closed hospitals and to the hospitals that are on the verge of closing down island-wide. The minister gave these instructions at a discussion held today with the representatives of the Government Medical Officers Association. About 40 hospitals throughout the island have been closed at present. In addition, 100 more are closed to stop functioning. The minister took this decision to reactivate these hospitals. The minister has also appointed a special committee to look into this matter. Many such vulnerable hospitals are located in the northern province and in the Putlam and Nuwara districts. Doctors leaving the country, retiring, having transfers and vacating the posts are the major reasons for the closure of hospitals in remote areas. The Government Medical Officers Association expressed their gratitude to Health Minister Dr. Ramesh Patrana for working reciprocally with the health trade unions to find solutions for the prevailing problems in the health sector. Acting Secretary to the Health Ministry, Consultant Dr. Sunil De Alvis, Director General of the Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardana and a number of representatives of the Government Medical Officers Association were present at this discussion. Now, the Urban Development Authority signed an agreement today to construct 1,996 houses under Chinese aid.
These houses are scheduled for veteran artists, journalists and low-income families. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga represented the government and Chinese ambassador in Sri Lanka Zi Shenghong signed agreement on behalf of the Chinese government. The houses are to be completed within 3 years. 1,888 houses of this project will be allocated for low-income families in Colombo. Out of them, 615 houses will be constructed at Dutugamnu Road in Paliagoda. Another 586 houses will be built in the Elamadua Vatta in Dematagoda. 575 houses will be erected at the Battery Vatta in Moratua, while 112 houses at Ambavatta in Maharagama. 108 more houses will be constructed in Kottava for artists and journalists. A sum of over 24 billion rupees has been set aside for this housing project. Construction work will begin in March next year.
The Minister of Economy and Planning for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Faisal F. Al-Brahim, met with President Ranil Wickremesinghe this afternoon at the Presidential Secretariat. During the discussion, Minister Faisal F. Ali Ibrahim emphasized Saudi Arabia's keen interest in strengthening economic ties with Sri Lanka across various sectors, including governments and tourism. He elucidated that his government was focused on expanding economic relations within the region and regarded Sri Lanka with significant importance. President Ranil Wickremesinghe welcomed the minister's comments, asserting that Sri Lanka is actively promoting enhanced cooperation in Asia, including West Asia. He further highlighted that the tourism and agriculture sectors were areas open to greater investment as the country is committed to modernizing these domains. Accompanying the President were the Secretary to the President, Saman Ekanaika, and the Director of International Affairs to the President, Denok Kolabage.
Now, the Minister of Environment, Kehelia Rambukwala, says that new bill on climatic changes will be presented to Parliament. The Minister revealed this fact joining the committee stage debate of the budget today. Votes of the Ministries of Environment, Wildlife and Forest Resources Conservation were taken up for debate today. Minister Kehelia Rambukwala said that implementing development programs is always having conflict with the environment. Therefore, there should be a balance between these two. Development should be carried out equally with the environmental conservation. However, climatic changes have caused negative effects to the environment during the past period. Properly understanding this situation, the President last year proposed to establish an international university on climatic changes. Sri Lanka should prepare a strong policy framework to successfully face the negative effects of climatic changes. The government is preparing a new draft bill with regard to the climatic changes. The minister said that he expects to present it to the Parliament at the beginning of 2027. Parliamentarian Ajit Manaperuma said that during the period from 2011 to 2023, 3,917 elephant deaths have been reported. Out of the amount, only 7% is natural deaths. Other deaths were due to accidents and man-made activities such as shooting, electrocution and setting up traps with explosive devices. The relevant act should be revised to prevent these accidents. Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi said that basic information is gathered at present to set up 3 elephant corridors. Basic needs for the wild animals are to be arranged within the forest itself. This will help to minimize elephants encroaching villages. Reservoirs and grasslands will be set up within the sanctuaries next year continuously.
COP28 summit is scheduled to be held from the 4th of next month in Dubai with the participation of leaders of 54 states. President Roshan Ranes Singha is to submit 3 special proposals to this summit. The main proposal submitted by the President to the International Summit over Climatic Changes or COP28 summit is to establish a university for climatic changes in Sri Lanka. In addition, another proposal will be made to set up a forum of climatic justice on behalf of the third world countries that have been affected due to the activities of developed countries. Another forum is to be established for tropical rain forests. It has also been planned to have additional rounds of talks over the debt optimization. 20 Sri Lankan youth are also scheduled to take part in these discussions.
Minister Dr. Bandulu Gunawarddena says that although many parties make requests to increase salaries, burden of such an increase will have to be borne by the general public. Some elements make such requests in order to gain political mileage. The minister made these comments engaging in an observation tour at the Migoda Ayurvedic Hospital. The minister also looked into the problems existing in the hospital at present. Minister Dr. Bandulu Gunawarddena said that the overall tax income last year was 1,751 billion rupees. Around 1,265 billion of that income is spent for the state sector employees for their salaries and pensions. 500 billion rupees, which is 28% of the total tax revenue, was spent for the people of vulnerable groups in the society, especially the low-income earners. Rupees 1,565 billion was spent for the debt interest repayment. This has been paid by a loan. 751 billion rupees was spent for capital expenditure, which has been spent by obtaining a loan.
A group of children of migrant workers were provided with scholarships at a program held today. 288 such children received scholarships at this event. This scholarship program annually conducted for the students of migrant worker parents who have been registered under the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau. The scholarship distribution ceremony was held at the auditorium of the Ministry of Labour and Foreign Employment under the patronage of Minister Malushanane Akara. Students selected from the Colombo and Gampa districts were provided with scholarships. Students who have passed grade 5 scholarship examination will be given an annual allowance of 20,000 rupees, while O-level students receive 25,000 rupees. Students of higher education are entitled to an allowance of 35,000 rupees. 50,234 students of migrant workers have been provided with scholarships since 1996 up to now.
A Sri Lankan girl has qualified for the final round of the Saregama reality show of the C Tamil TV channel in India. It has been reported that another Sri Lankan girl is contesting to be qualified for the final round. Saregama is a popular reality show in South India. These 2 Sri Lankan contestants have come forward so far, showing unique talents at the preliminary round events. The finalist, Kilmisha, living at Aryale in Jaffna, is a grade 8 student in the Sundukkuli Girls' School. The other Sri Lankan contestant is Ashani, a resident in the Pussalav area in Kandy. She is a grade 9 student in the Nayapane Tamil Mahavidyalaya. A final round to qualify for the grand finale is yet to be completed.
சின்ன சின்ன சிறகடிக்கும்
The Meteorology Department forecasts a turbulent condition in the lower atmosphere close to Andaman Islands in the Bay of Bengal. Director General of Meteorology Department Atula Karunan Naik says that due to this situation, an increase of rainy condition in the island is expected in the coming few days. Director General of Meteorology Department Atula Karunan Naik said that there is a low pressure area developing in the Bay of Bengal, especially in the Andaman Islands. We expected the gradual development of the low pressure area in the upcoming days. Showery weather condition is expected to enhance over most places of the island for the next few days starting from today. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in eastern, northern and north central provinces. Showers or thunder showers may occur at several places in other provinces of the island after 2 p.m. Fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, are likely at some places in eastern, Uva, western and Sabaragama provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts. He further said that the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Now, a group of children of migrant workers were provided with scholarships at a program held today. 288 such children received scholarships at this event. The scholarship program annually conducted for the students of migrant workers' parents who have been registered under the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau. The scholarship distribution ceremony was held at the auditorium of the Ministry of Labour and Foreign Employment under the patronage of Minister Manushananayakara. Students selected from the Colombo and Gampaha districts were provided with scholarships. Students who have passed Grade 5 scholarship examination will be given an annual allowance of 20,000 rupees, while the ordinary level students receive 25,000 rupees. Students of higher education are entitled to an allowance of 35,000 rupees. 50,234 students of migrant workers have been provided with scholarships since 1996 up to now. Minister Manushananayakara said that a sum of $7.5 billion has been sent to the country by your parents. Migrant workers are the major source of foreign exchange in Sri Lanka. The government maintains the foreign reserves effective manner to revitalize the economy. The country imports fuel, gas and medicine from the foreign exchange sent to the country by your parents. If we have ample amount of dollars, the country will be able to pay back foreign loans. The country can remove all import restrictions. The minister said that the government will give more benefits to migrant workers and members of their families in future.
විදේශගත ශ්‍රමිකයන්ගේ ප්‍රේෂණ මුදල් මේක තමයි රටේ ප්‍රධාන ආදාය මාර්ගය. අපිට ඕනි ඩොලර්. රට ඩොලර් තියෙනවා නම් අපිට ණය ගෙවන්න පුළුවන්. අපිට ඩොලර් තියෙනවා නම් තව ආනයන සීමා සියල්ල ඉවත් කරන්න පුළුවන්.
The recreated official website of the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau was also launched in line with this program. The Minister of Water Supply and Estate Infrastructure Development, Jeevan Thondaman, emphasized the ongoing discussions surrounding the formulation of a water tariff, emphasizing the need for a formula that sustains the water board while maintaining fairness for the general public.
Addressing a media briefing at the Presidential Media Centre today, Minister Thondaman said discussions are still in progress, considering two parallel formulas, one focused on cost recovery and the other on cost reflection.
As all of you are aware, the budget for my Ministry of Water Supply and Estate Infrastructure concluded on Saturday, and many questions were raised, but also I think many parliamentarians were understanding of the fact that we couldn't continue many projects, both foreign funded and domestic funded, due to the economic crisis. And we have given an assurance that we would be able to kickstart new projects by January, and also complete incomplete projects by January. We'd be able to initiate it. For example, we have certain projects which are less than 80% completion. Then we have certain projects which are at about 95% and above, but they are mainly stalled due to our financial status as opposed to lack of funding. So all these questions were raised, and we made it very clear that the Water Ministry, which comprises of the Water Board, the Water Resources Board and also the Community Water Supply Department, we need to have a change in the way of handling issues. We need to look forward to more public-private partnership, which we clarified to the parliament as well, because there were certain political entities who stated that we are looking to sell water, we are looking to privatize water, which is completely false. There is no such plan to sell or to privatize water, but we are looking at completing projects through public-private partnership, which will result in better quality of water being given to the people. Also, there will be a price reduction if we were to involve the private sector as well. But in order to do all that, we need to have a stable tariff formula. We are on track in coming up with our formula. In December, we should have our final draft. In January, we would hope to put into effect. We will make sure that we don't try to overburden the people, but at the same time, we must understand that water has a cost and that cost needs to be valued. Because today, giving drinking water to every household is not a cheap exercise. It's very costly. And unfortunately, over the past 10-15 years of the water board being in effect, many of it was, most of the projects were taken on a loan basis, and though it was completed, it wasn't a cost reflective or cost recovery tariff, which is why we are dealing with this crisis right now.
And we have more news from home in brief. The workshop and exhibition organised by Sri Lanka vegetable and fruit farmers was launched at the BMRCH premises in Colombo today. Farmers and businessmen related to vegetable and fruit crops island-wide under the Agri-Modernisation project were present at this moment. Minister Mahinda Amaravira and several other politicians, officials of the Agri-Modernisation project and many others were present. Leader of Samak Jana Balawege filed a preliminary objection before the Supreme Court today, requesting to dismiss the petition filed by State Minister Diana Gamage. Appearing for the opposition leader, President's Counsel Faiza Mustafa pointed out that there is no legal provisions to continue this petition. The petition will be resummoned on the 5th of next month. Moragahena police has revealed a new system of transporting drugs inside a wristwatch. The police said that a suspect was taken into custody at Olabadua area wearing a wristwatch. When the police checked the wristwatch, 3-minute packets of drugs were hidden inside the wristwatch. The Cygnus Telecine Awards 2023 ceremony was held at the BMRCH premises in Colombo yesterday. It has been organised by the International Catholic Mass Media Services Institute. Awards were presented to best films screened in 2021 and 2022 at this ceremony. Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, Minister Vidra Vikramanayaka and many Catholic bishops graced the occasion. That's all the news we have from home. Stay tuned for international stories coming up next.
டிசம்பரில் கரம் நிறைய வாசி தரும் பீப்பிள்ஸ் கிரெடிட் கார்டிடமிருந்து தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்ட முன்னணி வர்த்தக நிலையங்களில் 75% வரையிலான ஏராளமான கழிவுகள். உங்கள் கொள்வனவுகளுக்கு வட்டியில்லா தவணை முறை கொடுப்பனவு வசதிகள். நீங்களும் இன்றைய அருகில் இருக்கும் மக்கள் வங்கியில் பீப்பிள்ஸ் கிரெடிட் கார்டு ஒன்றினை பெற்றுக் கொள்ளுங்கள்.
And we are back with some foreign news. Israel says negotiations are still continuing over the hostage and prisoner releases expected today on the fourth and final day of the current truce.
International efforts are continuing to extend the temporary ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Israel is offering a day pause in fighting for every 10 additional hostages released from Gaza, while Hamas says it is seeking an extension. As part of the Israel-Hamas deal, 39 Israeli hostages in Gaza have been released so far, with 117 Palestinians freed from Israeli jails. Furthermore, lorry loads of humanitarian supplies entered the Gaza Strip on Monday with food, fuel and medicine being distributed by aid organizations. Foreign media reports that there is growing international pressure to extend the truce.
Sierra Leone authorities says that the nighttime curfew imposed after armed men freed prison inmates has been lifted for a temporary period. Detainees from a number of major facilities were released yesterday by an unknown group, according to the nation's information minister. Sierra Leone President Julius Maada Bio has said most of the leaders behind the attack has been arrested. In a televised address, he described the events as a breach of security and an attack on democracy. He carefully avoided calling them an attempted coup. He said calm had been restored but gave no details about who the perpetrators were and what they wanted. Sierra Leone Information Ministry had said earlier that a new 9-hour nighttime curfew will be imposed beginning tonight. The political situation in Sierra Leone has remained tense since June, when President Bio Maada was re-elected, narrowly missing out on the need to have a runoff.
The Kenyan President William Ruto has announced that his administration is poised to privatize 35 state-owned companies, which he said are underperforming due to inefficiency in bureaucracy. Kenyan President William Ruto said his bid to privatize these companies in order to boost productivity. He further stated that about 100 companies owned by the government are under review for possible privatization. Kenya is facing multiple economic challenges with the surging inflation rate and increasing debt burdens. The IMF recently agreed on a loan of close to $1 billion and urged reforms in public sector firms, including the power company and Kenya Airways, which suffered record losses last year. According to the president, state-owned enterprises might, in bureaucracy, will be able to attract more workers and fill the treasury with taxes if they are transferred to private hands.
In more foreign news, Moyu County, which is located at the northwest Xinjiang region, is seeing increasing flocks of migratory birds coming to its wetlands to spend the winter as its environment improves over the years. Annually, Xinjiang sees large-scale bird migration from Mongolia over Indian Ocean and to Africa. It is one of the hubs for migratory birds to rest and prepare for the next phase of their long travel. Over the years, Moyu County has witnessed an increase in the number of migratory birds coming to its wetlands to spend winter, as the widened Hotan prefecture, where the country is located, has stepped up efforts in environmental conservation. Preserving measures likely to desertification control, forestation, prevention and control of water pollution and restoration of wetland ecology have been taken in the region.
Terima Kutumi, Pantamai.
Now, India won the second T20 cricket match against Australia. The match was played in Thiruvananthapuram.
Batting first, India scored 235 runs for 4 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Ruturaj Gaikwad scored 58 runs. Yashasvi Jaiswal scored 53 runs and Ishan Kishan scored 52 runs. Nathan Ellis claimed 3 wickets for 45 runs. In reply, Australia scored only 191 runs for 9 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Marcus Stoinis scored 45 runs. Prasidh Krishna and Ravi Bishnoi claimed 3 wickets each. Accordingly, India won the match by 44 runs. India lead the 5-match series 2-0.
That's in the air. It's in.
Terima Kutumi, Pantamai.
That's all the news we have for tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on ChannelEye. I'm Dilanjali, together with Shivan, signing off. Good night.